Could you be fined for not smiling? Or banned from owning just one guinea pig? History has seen its fair share of strange laws, and some of them are so bizarre they sound made up. Let's dive into the top 10 strangest laws in history and see just how weird things can get. 10th on the list is the UK law that makes it illegal to die in Parliament, one of the most peculiar and debated rules in British history. The origin of this law lies in the unique status of the Houses of Parliament, which are considered royal property. If someone were to die there, they would technically qualify for a state funeral, as the location is tied to the monarchy. This curious piece of legislation was likely created to avoid the administrative complications and costs that could arise from such a situation. While the law seems nearly impossible to enforce, after all, how can you stop someone from dying? It has become a source of fascination and humor over the years. Even today, people debate whether it's a real law or more of a historical quirk, but it remains a legendary example of the bizarre side of legislation. 9th on the list is Singapore's ban on chewing gum, a law that has been in place since 1992 and is one of the most famous modern bans in the world. The rule was introduced to address a growing problem in the country. Vandals were sticking chewed gum on public transport doors, in keyholes, and all over public spaces, causing disruptions and expensive cleanups. The ban prohibits the import, sale, and chewing of gum, except for medicinal purposes. Even travelers bringing a pack of gum into the country could face fines. Over the years, this law has become a symbol of Singapore's strict approach to maintaining order and cleanliness, earning the city its spotless reputation. While controversial, it's undeniably one of the quirkiest laws still in effect today. 8th on the list is Greece's ban on high heels at ancient sites, a modern law with ancient roots. Introduced in 2009, this rule prohibits visitors from wearing high-heeled shoes while exploring Greece's historic landmarks, such as the Acropolis. The reasoning? High heels can cause significant damage to the fragile stones and ancient marble, which have already endured thousands of years of wear and tear. Additionally, officials argue that high heels pose a safety risk to visitors, as uneven terrain and steep stairs make them impractical. The law has been praised for preserving Greece's cultural heritage, though it's also sparked some laughter among tourists. Still, it stands as a prime example of how even fashion choices can be subject to legislation when history is at stake. 7th on the list is Switzerland's law against owning just one guinea pig, a heartwarming yet unusual piece of legislation. In Switzerland, guinea pigs are considered highly social animals that can suffer from loneliness if kept alone. To protect their emotional well-being, the law requires owners to keep them in pairs or groups. The law even extends to an innovative solution for unexpected situations. If one guinea pig dies, owners can rent a companion guinea pig until they are ready to adopt another. This unique approach reflects Switzerland's commitment to animal welfare, taking even the smallest pets' needs seriously. While it might seem odd at first, it has become a beloved example of how laws can prioritize compassion and empathy for all living creatures. 6th on the list is Milan's law requiring people to smile in public, a quirky and cheerful regulation that dates back to the 19th century. In Milan, Italy, it's technically illegal to frown in public, except during funerals or while visiting someone in the hospital. The law was originally designed to promote a positive atmosphere and good spirits among citizens. While it's unlikely that anyone has been fined for failing to smile in recent years, the rule still exists on the books. Tourists often find it amusing, and locals jokingly refer to it as the happiness law. Though it's rarely enforced, Milan's smile mandate adds a light-hearted touch to the city's history and reminds us all to keep a little joy in our day-to-day lives. 5th on the list is Spain's ban on building sandcastles, a surprising rule enforced on some of the country's most popular beaches. While it may sound harmless, local authorities argue that sandcastles can obstruct pathways, create safety hazards, and even disrupt the natural flow of beachgoers. In certain regions, particularly tourist-heavy areas like the Canary Islands, hefty fines can be issued to those caught crafting their sandy masterpieces. The exact amount varies by location, but it's not uncommon for fines to reach hundreds of euros. Despite its seriousness, the rule has become a point of humor for many tourists, who often question how something as innocent as a sandcastle could warrant such strict regulation. Still, for those visiting Spain's beautiful beaches, it's a quirky law worth keeping in mind before breaking out the bucket and spade. Fourth on the list is Alaska's law banning bears from bars, a quirky rule designed to protect both people and wildlife. With bears occasionally wandering into towns, this law ensures they stay out of establishments like bars. While the idea of a bear enjoying a drink sounds humorous, the regulation highlights Alaska's unique challenges of living alongside nature. It's rarely enforced, but it's certainly one of the strangest laws on the books. Third on the list is Samoa's law requiring husbands to remember their wife's birthday, a charming yet strict rule aimed at preserving domestic harmony. Forgetting your wife's birthday in Samoa isn't just frowned upon, it's actually illegal, and husbands who fail to celebrate properly can face fines or other penalties. This law reflects the cultural importance of family and respect in Samoan society. While it might seem amusing to outsiders, it serves as a reminder of the value placed on relationships and special occasions in this island nation. So, husbands in Samoa, mark your calendars. Second on the list is Australia's law against offending cows, a surprising regulation from Western Australia that prohibits insulting or angering cows. This unusual law reflects the agricultural heritage of the region, where cattle are not just animals but an essential part of rural life and the economy. The rule ensures respect for livestock and prevents unnecessary stress on these animals, which can affect their well-being and productivity. While it may sound odd, it highlights the unique ways laws can be shaped by the needs of local communities. So, if you're in Western Australia, be sure to keep your interactions with cows polite. Finally, at the top of the list is Swaziland's law requiring male drummers to wear skirts, a cultural regulation that blends tradition with law. In Swaziland, men performing as drummers during ceremonies are required to wear traditional skirts as part of their attire. This rule is deeply rooted in Swazi culture, where ceremonial dress is considered a sign of respect and adherence to tradition. While it might seem unusual to outsiders, it reflects the country's dedication to preserving its cultural heritage. For male drummers in Swaziland, it's not just about rhythm, it's about honoring tradition too. And that wraps up our top 10 strangest laws in history. From banning bears in bars to making smiles mandatory, these laws show just how quirky and unexpected history can be. Which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts.